Hi Divine Rebels, Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart reading here, and today we are tapping back into our series, What's the Tea on Me? Yes, the original tea series. First time it was done with tarot right here, okay? Yeah, so we are going to check in and see what's the tea people are spilling on you, okay? What are their gums bumping in the parlors with the closed doors, all right, if we may. And of course, it's your business. Let's see. Sometimes it can be good to know what others are saying so we can protect our reputation. It's kind of like the midheaven, the ascendant in the astrology chart, okay? So we are going to start with our options. Number one is this goddess pendulum. Number two is this little blue potion bottle. Number three are these amethyst dangles, like a little earring. Number four is this Moonstone pregnant mama pendant. Number five is the Seashell Ring. And number six is the evil eye protecting charm. Okay? So again, one is the goddess pendant, two is the blue potion bottle, three are the amethyst dangles, four is the moonstone pregnant pendant, five is the seashell ring, and six is the evil eye charm. Okay, so we're going to get into it here and see what is the tea people are spilling on you. Okay, try to keep these in order on the side here. Okay, all right. For those of you that chose the goddess pendant, or pendulum, excuse me. What are people saying about you? Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. All the decks will be linked down below. We have a quote from Snoop Dogg. Now, I included a deck that is in prototype. It's basically based on the band Nirvana. So I have these cards you can buy yourself, and there's blank ones if you want to create your own deck. But I haven't put the art on them. So this just has the quotes, but we'll know it has a song and a quote or a meaning. You look like a shit show from the Rebel deck. 3 of Swords reversed. We have the 6 of Wands reversed. We have King reversed from the archetype deck. And then we have the Page of Cups over here. Look at that look. That's like a little Dave Chappelle face. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What are people saying about you? So there's definitely this energy of being a mess, okay? Being a bit of a mess. Some of you are partying too hard. You're trying to get over a breakup or recover, and it's just not happening. Like, you're not bouncing back from things the way that you think that you would be. Yeah, some of you literally have been too much in the drink, okay? Or too much in the smoke or something. It ain't no joke. Okay, we have the King reverse, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. So people feel that you're acting entitled, that you're just kind of pushing your way through everything. Maybe you're feeling Leo season a little early. Okay, we're almost there. Actually, by the time this is uploaded, it'll probably be Leo season. We have cards of Leo here as well. We have Sagittarius, we have Gemini, and water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is the vibe of people could be feeling like you're trying to like persecute somebody who doesn't deserve it. Like, man, they didn't need it like that. Like, you're out here maybe trying to like crucify your ex or something, or really go at somebody in a triangulation third party situation, and they're like, they don't need it like that. Like, you're looking a mess out here, you're doing too much. And the song from Snoop Dogg is Gin and Juice, so again, that sippy sip stuff. But it says, I got in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So people feel like people are kind of looking at you like, if you're without sin, cast the first stone then, okay? Because they're like, with all you're doing, we don't know how you're out here talking about other people or thinking that other people are a mess. Like, you don't seem too blessed. You seem stressed right now. Maybe they feel like you need a drink right now or just to calm down. So I don't know the situation that's going on. Maybe there was a bad breakup that happened, or maybe they feel like you're just always judging other people, talking shit about other people, and so they don't really trust what you say behind closed doors. You got cover song, even genius can be a fan, learn from peers and predecessors. But with this reading, I think people feel like you copy others a lot. that what you say, what you do is like coming from others. So maybe they feel like you're reenacting emotional patterns and stuff from like your family dynamics, or that because you went through some bad things with some people, you kind of like put that on everybody as if it's everybody's problem. There definitely is that feel that like either you're acting like everything's cool and you're, oh look, you're a hot mess. Fact, clean yourself up. Okay, look, they're going hard here. Don't come for me. This is just what other people are saying. So you just have to take it in stride with who's saying this, okay? But yeah, coming off with a bang in this, they really feel like, I don't know who you're talking about, because we could point 7 fingers back at you every time you're pointing one at us. They might feel like you get people riled up to talk shit about somebody or other people, and that could even be on social media. You might be like, I don't do that, I'm calm and da 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 da, but maybe they know how you are on social media. Maybe you're on the pick of cards talking shit about the karmic or whatever, and they know that you're like that. So it's not always what we expect. We can often have the image we think we're putting out, and then people are seeing something different and they're wrong, or they're seeing a part of ourselves we didn't want to admit. So just take what resonates, as they say, as the saying goes. All right. But yeah, they see you kind of all over the place, not really able to handle life right now. Like life is just getting you up, almost like being bit by a lot of mosquitoes, okay? They might feel like you're not really taking care of yourself anymore. That you're kind of letting yourself fall off in the way you take care of yourself, but that you're still, sorry, I hit my microphone, that you're still demanding kind of these top shelf things, but you're not really living that top shelf life, besides maybe the top shelf liquor, okay? They also could see that you're not letting go of people that you need to let go of. Again, this is other people's opinion and perception, but they might feel like, really, like, get it together. This person is disrespectful. They're no good for your children. You're over here just doing the most, trying to look, I'll flash a breast, I'll do whatever, just don't leave me. They might feel like you need to leave a relationship that is just horrible, and you refuse to do so, even though it affects all of your other relationships, and again, could endanger children. That could be why they're judging you hard. Maybe you have kids and you're out there doing the most, or they think that you are, and they're just like, get your act together. Like this revolving door, this crazy love life, this escapism, or just like, it's kind of like that you too old to be out here fighting people in the streets. You too old to be bickering on social media, and you might be young, but people are still like, you too damn old for this. We're tired of seeing it. We're tired of the breakup and now we're back together. We're engaged statuses 55 times a year. That kind of vibe. So they're kind of going hard. They're going hard. So please take that in stride of what you're doing. And who knows? They could have made a whole novel. I don't know. Or some of you're like, shit, they right. Let me get it together. All right. No judgment here, just information. Okay. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Send it to a friend who needs to know what's going on. And we'll talk to you again on another one. For those of you that chose the blue bottle, the blue potion bottle, what is the tea on you? What are people saying? What are they saying? Let's spill it. Spill it all, okay? We have the 2 of Cups reversed. We have the 6 of Swords. We have Healer reversed. We have the Devil. We have, 7 of Pentacles reversed. I told everyone else, well, I said it in the first one. I'm gonna have to repeat it because I didn't tell everyone at the beginning. I have a prototype deck for a Nirvana oracle I'm making, and the art's not on it yet. So these are just the cards that have the keywords, but and it's messy, but I know what they mean. Okay, we have, and that one is music. We have a song here from Guru. We have Be Fucking Grateful, and we have the 8 of Wands. Some people are seeing you as having just got out of a breakup from someone who's pretty toxic. They're seeing you as trying to get your stuff together, and maybe you waited around too long, or you're just on the precipice of finally leaving. The Healer reverse says taking advantage of those who need help. What does it say? Failing to care for oneself. Okay, so they might feel like, okay, it's time to be grateful. I've been helping you out. Maybe they've been helping you in a transition of time after an ex left, or after a marriage dissolved, or just whatever it was. They feel like It's time to be happy. It's time to move on. It's time to actually, like this says, be grateful. And the song here by Guru that you got, the Five of Spades, says, some find happiness while others find sorrow. What's here today may be gone tomorrow. And so they're like, okay, it's time to be happy now. It's time to move on. So they're seeing you right at the point where they're like, okay, look, I got love for you, but that love is kind of tapping out if you're not going to get your shit together. All right. Because if you're not going to get it together, then you got to get the hell out of here. With the Eight of Wands and the Six of Swords, they could see you as you telling them this. Maybe you have somebody who's been staying with you and they feel like you kind of go back and forth, like you want to help, but then you're also judging. And so there's this be fucking grateful. What does it say? Shit could be so much worse. So some people feel like you are kind of being extra and acting like things are more serious than they are. It could be something about a car too. There could be something about a car or travel for you, and they're like, it's not that serious. Just be grateful for what you do have instead of doing all of this. So the music card says your life's blood, destiny at your door, your soul's goals, and your real self. So a lot of people are seeing you as trying to finally like get over a lot of toxic shit and move into your real self, move into your better self. But a lot of people aren't feeling emotionally close to you right now. They might feel like to get close to you, it feels like that it's just a lot of work. And some people are judging that, some people aren't. We all have time periods like that where we're like, yeah, I feel really messed up. I've been through a lot. So if you're in my life right now, I need to know that you actually give back too, because I can't be so giving right now. So some people are mad about that, and they're just like, oh, well, you know, I just got to listen to you talk and I don't get any attention. I'm not getting anything when I connect with you. I'm just feeling empty. And some people, they're understanding and they're like, well, usually you would be the person I could go to, but your cup's not full right now, so I have to be the one who shows you love but also gives you that tough love. So for some of you, the roles are switching. You're usually the person that's giving the friends the tough love, that's helping them get out of negative situations, and now that's like you need that help. So some people are handling that well and some people are not, but there is that vibe that people are like, okay, like what you whine about in life is not that serious. Like there's children, migrant children in cages, like things could be worse. You need to kind of get over your demons, stop waiting around for them to turn into angels, and leave the situation. Okay. Yes. Some of you are being talked about moving or traveling. Maybe they feel like you complain about things. Like for instance, you might be complaining about your plane being delayed, but bish, you traveling. Okay. How are you going to complain that your a Carnival cruise is late, but you on the ocean going to the Bahamas? Like what? So there's some things like that where people are like, ugh, like I just got a bad taste in my mouth. Like, can you stop complaining about this? Some of you don't want to face the music, or people feel like that you don't want to face the music in your life and look at your own negative qualities. Like you see yourself as like, well, I'm advanced, I'm ascending, I'm doing so good, but you know, you kind of miss the mark in personal relationships, and you kind of miss the mark with honest gratitude. Like you might be very affirmations and only positive energy and all this kind of vibe, but when it comes to actually being being healed and actually seeing how you interact with the world, that you don't do so. Like it's not there. And they're like, really? You could be affecting real things in a real positive way, or you could actually work on your negative aspects and still be positive. Like, so they see that you might use kind of a lot of things like that and pretend to move on from things that you don't really deal with. And that could be a problem. So they want you to be more real, because this is saying your real self with the music card. Face the music, be your real self, look at how you affect others, but also look at how others are around you, because some of you are still in a toxic relationship and you haven't yet left, and people just are like, it could get worse, like you need to leave, like you need to let the shit go, you need to get out of this abusive relationship because we can't help you. Okay, it does say failing to care for oneself, like we cannot help you. And yes, you could have dependence. You know, there's a little deer right here, so consider this, you know, this bird in the little nest. Y'all might need to leave the nest. You might need to make that move. Okay, so that is the tea that people are chatting about you. Remember, this is their opinions and what they're perceiving, so take that into stride. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and share it with a friend if you think that they would be interested on what's being spilt on them. For those of you that chose the amethyst, what's the tea on you that's being spilt? we have the Ace of Cups reverse. We have the Amazon of Air reverse, which is kind of like the Knight of Air. Knight of Swords reverse. We have Virgin. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Babalorisha, which is like the Magician. Drain You, Energy Vampires. The Documentary by The Game. And just this power symbol. Figure shit out on your own. People, okay, so this is the group. I think this one was reversed. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay. All right, so this people really feel that you guys are energy vampires. They think that you take energy from them. There's this energy that you play really nice and safe. There's air signs here, so Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, and there's water signs here, very strong, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So people feel like you put off that you're a very like loving, nice person and very innocent and very pure, but behind the scenes you're actually very powerful, and you come on the shady side of the Magician for a power game, and you really you really just drain people's energy. Like they feel exhausted after they're around you, after they talk to you. They feel like, man, I always forget. There could be some Virgos, definitely some Virgos in this. They feel like, man, I always forget and I want to connect with this person, and then every time I do, I feel like there's this like low-key power struggles going on. There is this is the Six of Cups. So people have nostalgia with you, they want to reconnect, and then they're like, shit, like that's like the love is lost. Like I thought it was a good vibe. Again, I fell for it again, and now I'm exhausted, and now I feel like this person is kind of hoodwinking me, or they feel like you're putting magic on them, or that there's something else going on. Okay, and there's also 6 hearts there, like the 6 of Cups. So this song here says, let me tell you why I do this shit. I'm a son of a gun because mom's was a Hoover Crip. So they might feel like you repeat patterns. Maybe your parents were known to, play games or be like emotionally guilt tripping or gaslighting or abusive or something. Like, I don't know, maybe people know about your family member and one of them or more were just not too savory, they just always had something up their sleeve, always feeling like they're trying to get one by on people. Figure shit out on your own. So you're trying to figure it out. It's almost like people feel like you should be more innocent, and maybe they feel bad because of like your situation and how you were raised, or who you've been like what you've been through, or who you've been raised by. Maybe you went through like, I'm seeing like foster care, or other family members raised you, or you were adopted, some of you. So it's like something about you, it seems childlike. Maybe you are young or you're very youthful, and so people want to like trust you and bring you in. But then after that happens, they feel like this other side comes out, and either you just end up slowly draining away, or just like emotionally attaching to them, or like creating this codependency, and then suddenly you didn't actually need them, you're not actually vulnerable, and you like have all the power in the relationship and the whole dynamic. And they're like, wait, I thought you were so vulnerable and you need to care, and you were like the little empath and all of this, but now I see that like I'm drained, my life is dried up, and you're over here powerful or whatever. So you guys might want to look into that. A lot of people who say that they're empaths are really energy vampires, and the reason they feel the energy from others is because they drain others. And I definitely see a lot of people that think that they have these sensitive qualities, and they have more narcissistic traits, I would say, not diagnosing anyone, because that term is overused definitely in the spiritual community. But this is really saying like, this is how the person is perceiving you, or the tea that people say. They're like, no, that person's not really all nice and innocent like they say. So you guys could have like a Gemini rising or midheaven. You could have some Neptune going on in your chart where just people just feel glamored by you, but then they feel like, no, there's a whole different side that comes out. So you could definitely have Libra, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces on your midheaven, or ascendant definitely, or in your chart prominent. You could have a lot of Mercury, Neptune going on. yeah, and they feel like when it comes down to it that you don't really have a lot of love for people, that you actually maybe talk shit about people if you do get going, and that you don't really have a lot of life experience. So they might feel like you judge people, but you haven't even been out there in the game. Like you don't even really know what life is like. You're still learning how to figure it out, which is why it's like figure this shit out on your own. Like you have a lot of opinions about everyone else's life. You want them to just be perfect, la-di-dee, la-di-da, but you don't even know what it's like out here in these streets. And some of you, it's kind of both. Like you play innocent and like, you know, low-key, like stupid like that, ignorant, but then you do have some coping skills. You do have some coping mechanisms and some defense mechanisms that you can end up kind of screwing with people, like mind fucking people a little bit. Or again, this is how they perceive you. So they think like, oh wow, this person, you know, doesn't really know how it is in life, but then they find out that you can mind fuck them 10 ways till Sunday in a different way, and they're like, what the hell? Like shit, like you left me messed up. So yes, they think that you're kind of the steel fist in a velvet glove, and they're not sure how they feel about that, or if they want to interact in that with that anymore, because they just feel pretty drained, and they almost feel like like don't sit down to tea with that person. You know how like neighborhoods are like that sometimes. Like no, that person seems nice, but like it's don't get involved. They're too much. I remember there was this Virgo when I was in the dorms, and people were telling me that, and I'd be like, oh, maybe they're sweet. I knew from the get that they were kind of, you know, off and just don't even go there. And they ended up getting obsessed and like trying to date the same person. They ended up marrying my ex, but hey, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Woo, dodged some bullets. But they ended up being very off kilter, very messy, but their initial energy is kind of like Cancer risings. Okay, people with Cancer risings can be like that, and then afterwards there's all of this like, oh wow, they got, you know, Gemini moon opposing Mars and Pluto in the 12th house and blah. So y'all got some of that going on. So or they perceive you as having that going on. So you'll have to check in and see how much resonates, and you might be like, what? I don't know what they're talking about. This is a lie. All right, where's my attorney? This is slander. So y'all just see, okay, this is just what people are bumping their gums about. But this is what they think. They think you're out there putting the juju woo woo on them. Okay, they think you're out here playing nice, like you love everybody, but really you got like the secret list of people you're gonna punish from 5th grade. They really do. So they're thinking the most. So that is what tea people are spilling about you. And you know, take it in stride. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and please let your friends know and let them check in and see what the tea is on them. Okay, now next, y'all, was it the seashell or was it the pregnant one? I think it was the pregnant one. So the Moonstone. The Moonstone here. I do that sometimes, y'all. Okay, what is the tea on you? We have the Hierophant reverse. We have Companion. Okay, we have 6 of Swords. We have Neptune's Child. We have 4 of Swords reversed. We have the Witch of Earth, which is kind of like the Queen of Pentacles. We have Miss Fat Booty by Mos Def, okay? We have You Need a Good Fucking Cry, and Shame, Regret, and Guilt. Those are just bullshit. This is, I remember pulling the cards for this one. Y'all don't really have haters. You don't. People are just, they see you in a good way. It could be y'all are Pisces, you got some Neptunian in a good way. So the last reading had it in the negative way, those poor things. But this is in a good way. So the Hierophant reverse, people feel like you definitely you're more spiritual than religious. You're counterculture. You don't really go for what the man tells you. Okay, you might be separate from your family, but they see it as in a good way. They think that you're self-made. They're ready to come over here with gifts and offerings to you. They might think you're spoiled, but it's like, man, you so spoiled, but you earned it. Okay, so it's like that kind of thing. It's not like you actually spoiled. Maybe for a few of you, they see you as being someone that everyone wants to be with. Like shit, people will be like, man, I'll sell my business and give you a deposit right now. Can I just travel with you? Can I just be in your presence, in your vibe? The light attributes of the companions say loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Beautiful. They see you with such beautiful energy. You're like a safe space for people. You're like, I remember when I lived in Redondo, I lived across from the beach. There was a building right there, so I couldn't see it, but it was the cove right there, the little inlet. And so it was just, coves feel so sacred to me. Like they are such a sacred place for me and such a sanctuary. And you have that feeling for others. So they feel like you are just really safe space. You could have Aquarius energy. You could have Venus in Aquarius in your chart. They feel like you're sensitive. They feel like this says you need a good fucking cry. They might be like, baby, you've been going through a lot. It says, get your ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. They see you as being tough and being the boss and working hard a lot. There could be earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And they're like, look, you've earned it. Go ahead and let it down. I feel like even if you ugly cry, they'll be like, you're so pretty when you cry. Like they're not even hating. They think you're very attractive. There's a 2 of spades. Most deaf Miss Fat Booty. I seen her on the ass, spotted her more than once. Ass so fat you could see her from the front. Y'all, they just think every angle, okay, every single angle. Open your phone right now and have it on selfie view. They think that's cute too, okay? They ain't mad. People just really, they really are out here standing. They really are. They might even have a little group chat like, look, wasn't that so cute? Wasn't that so cute? Shame, regret, and guilt. Those are just bullshit. Forgive, let that shit go. So they feel like you're someone who's forgiving to others. They know that if anything happens, that you'll do water under the bridge. If people come in a genuine way, that you're compassionate. And even if you part ways with people, like it seems like you have from your family or your roots or your religion and origins, they feel like, they understand that. They know that you're just a bird of a different feather, but they're not punishing for that. And they really think that it's cool that you do you. 4 of Swords reverse. They do feel like, okay, you're strong, but sometimes you're too strong. You do everything for everyone else. It's time for you to have time to decompress, to rest, to get some sleep. You working hard. You out here 24/7. Get some sleep. Have a good cry. We have Neptune's child, muse, drugs, sensitivity, and talent. They see you as so innately talented. You are a muse for them. You inspire people. Your sensitivity makes other people gauge. It's almost like when people are out about their life, they're like, man, how would so-and-so respond to this situation? Would they get road rage or would they get compassionate? They're like, oh man, somebody is trying to sell me. I'm in my car minding my business and someone's coming to try to sell some flowers, but I know that they're working hard and they're just trying to provide for themselves. You know what? I bet so-and-so that's doing this pick a card would buy those flowers. I remember when I was younger, I am a Pisces. I'm definitely Neptune ruled and have a lot of strong Neptune in 12th house. And I remember that an adult, they went to the store and they came back and they had all these mixtapes. And so this was back in the day, but still mixtapes, you know, Spotify mixtapes. And they were like, I bought all these. I was like, you did? And they're like, yeah, because I know if you were there that you would be like, we need to support them. We need to support musicians. They're just trying to, you know, do something good and they're just trying to be themselves and put some good music out into the world. So they bought all these random mixtapes from people that were selling them at the Best Buy. And I was like, yes, that made me feel so good and so loved and so seen and just like, wow, you really saw that compassionate, precious part of myself, and you're supporting music and you're supporting people out there doing things. So you bring that out in people. You make them want to, maybe you're an artist or you make them want to do art. They think you're very talented. You could also be a psychic or a healer, or like, I'm just feeling this channel of energy. Like people just feel like you are ASMR, like you are peace. You are just this sacred energy to them. And it's not even about you having to be quiet. It's just, you just have this vibe of chill and peace, and people just have mad respect for you. And you're a muse. You bring things up in people. Like when people say like, you are my drug, like it's so overused in music, but you really are like that for people, where they're like, no, I gotta check in and see what they're doing today or see what they're posting today, because good or bad or whatever, I know it's the medicine that I need. They might also feel like maybe you're very chill. Maybe you do your sacred medicines, as I would say, in a good way. Like you don't overly indulge in anything if it comes to like weed or herbal smokes, mugwort, okay, whatever you witches getting into. They feel like you're pretty balanced with it. You might be very holistic yourself. You do a lot of your own kind of healing and trying to live green and really taking care of the ocean and the environment. And they just think like they're just so glad that you're here on the planet. Like you're so friendly. You're environmentally friendly, friendly for humans, friendly for animals. They just feel like it's just a shame that maybe where you come from, people didn't respect you, or your family didn't realize just how precious that you were, or that you had to leave those toxic situations. And so they just hope that you could trust them to be a shoulder to cry on, or that you can decompress when you're stressed and make sure you get rest and take care of yourself, because they see you as a beautiful person. Like, wow, y'all, you really have your name spoken in beautiful ways in rooms you don't even know exist yet. And I really feel like that you might not even know certain online groups or just families and things that they know about you, and they speak so well of you and you don't even know it. It could be like, some people are nosy, so maybe somebody like one of your friends that you don't even pay attention from high school, they always see your post and they tell like their aunt. That's what I'm seeing. And the aunt maybe is like having health issues. I'm seeing actually a very specific story, and you don't even know that that person exists, but yet every day what you're posting, what you're doing, how you're traveling and things, it just brings hope to that person. Like they feel like, wow, you brought hope to me that humanity isn't as horrible as I thought. You brought hope to me of having a good life and people being caring. So you really, really touch people, and I'm so grateful for y'all. That was beautiful to read. For those of you that chose number 5, the seashell, and if I swapped them, I'll just tell you in the notes or something. I don't know. For those of you who chose number 5, what's the T on you? We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Rescuer reversed. We have the 5 of Wands reversed. We have About a Lover and Aneurysm. This is from a Nirvana Oricon making. They don't have the art on them. They just have the keywords. Oh, y'all's was the one that had like 75 cards come out. You got Get Your Walk On by Exhibit with the 7 of hearts over here. You think someone is lying. You're giving away your power. Stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking that person, just fucking stop. Y'all got so many rebel cards, and they kept coming out individually. Like I would try to put the card away and another one would jump out, and another one. I was like, damn, people just don't stop talking. It's like they may have a group chat and then they have to send another text, or they feel like that about you. Like, damn, you text me all the time. That's all that's in my notifications is your text. Step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Some good shit is about to happen. The Magician. So some of you are just like so quick with messaging that people can't even get something else done. They can't get a word in. We have Ogun here, and that one is the King of Swords, I think. And then we have Love. Okay, so people have so much energy. I'm seeing Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini. Okay, some of you could have Virgo, Libra, or Scorpio in your chart. So this is like some of you people don't even want to talk about. They're just like, look, I can't anymore. I can't. But a lot of you're in so many mouths so many times. I do feel like people go back and forth being like an enemy, a frenemy, a fan. Like it's like your haters and your like the people who love you, your fans, like go back and forth a lot of times. People who did like you then start talking shit. People who didn't like you then start defending you. It's like the weirdest thing. You have the shadow attributes here of the Rescuer. So it says, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. So they feel like you show love, but at the same time you hold it over people's heads. It kind of reminds me of like in Mean Girls, where it's like, oh, you're the new girl, okay, we're gonna bring you in, and she thinks it's because they're being friends, but then there's an ulterior motive. So they might feel like, I think that's why people feel like you do good things, but then you end up holding it over people's head, or being like, well, I'm such a good person, remember I did this for you, I'm the one who hooked you up with that person to have a relationship, so now you owe me and I'm entitled to what goes on in your relationship. Like there's just all these different kinds of things like that. And so they might feel like, man, like you help, but then you really require a lot of us. There's the 7 of Hearts. I can drink a whole Hennessy fifth. Some call it a problem. I call it a gift. So yes, you guys just are like, whatever, take it or leave it. I think these are my skills. Some people call it meddling. I call it, being real. Look, Y'all gonna see my songwriting skills. I am a songwriter, but that was on accident. So yes, you guys have that vibe, very Gemini energy over here, very Aries energy. Okay, so people feel like you're very strong and powerful. Some of you are very fit. Some of you are going back and forth a lot because it did talk about yo-yo dieting. So they could be talking about your body. They could be talking about surgeries you're doing to your body, or extreme diets, or just fluctuating in weight gain, weight loss kind of thing. They could be gossiping about your lover or your relationships. I do get that. I feel like people are all up in your business about your relationships, or they could be talking about how you always have opinion about their relationships. I feel like y'all talk a lot about people's relationships, or they feel like you judge them or always have a look, or maybe they think that when you post memes or your little social media stuff that you're doing, that you're like slighting them, like, oh yeah, I'm so happy for you, but then you do something that you're like, I can't believe you're with that loser. They feel like you talk shit. Aneurysm, quantum uses of the... All right, the back, baby is safe and okay. If I didn't get that last little holler edited out, had some mommy duties, yes, duties to take care of, and baby magic in the house now. Okay, was always in the house, in the room now. All right, so yes, people just feel like, I'm hearing Beastie Boys, you talk too much, you never shut up. They might feel like that. A lot of you, yes, I think I already mentioned, got to have third house placements, Gemini, Mercurial really popping in your chart in some way. They just feel like there's just so much information, so much gab. You have the gift of gab, but you also have the gift to annihilate people. Again, there's a lot of this like mean girls maneuvering happening, where it's like, oh yeah, come join our friend group. Now I'm analyzing you, I'm in control, I did something nice so that I have the power, and now I can decimate you at any second. Beware, is the kind of thing going on. Dun 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 dun. The baby said dun 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 dun. Oh my gosh, yes. People might feel like you for a select few, people feel like you don't caretake your mental health, that you push that onto others. Maybe you purposely don't take medication, or you really go into that, well, like a lot of Geminis will post, yeah, I am a Gemini, yeah, I am crazy, like things like that. So they might feel like you need to be more serious with you're like, okay, this ain't a game, like you need to take care of yourself better. Don't just let everything be all over the place. Yes, maybe you are struggling with having hormonal imbalance or different things like that, but that doesn't mean you have to amp it up or use that as an excuse to purposely mistreat others. So some people feel like there is a boundary issue there, or that maybe you use being sensitive or things of that nature to just overdo certain things. You are giving away your power. So people feel like others give away their power when they interact with you. There's two sides of this. They feel like you get into relationships where you get demolished, and then they have to hear about it a lot, and it affects others around you. You're a badass, act like it. But they also feel like, I feel like people have to console people that you mow over a lot. That's how they feel. They feel like, oh man, so and so, you won't believe the shit they said to me. They asked me to go to the mall with them, and then they were insulting me all these kind of little ways and this and that. And so there's just little things like that. People feel like you kind of do backhanded compliments, or that you kind of backbite a lot. And so a lot of times they just feel like they don't quite want to say things to you, or they don't know what to say. And maybe you think, oh yeah, I got the power, I can shut anybody down. But really it's like people just don't feel the point of arguing with you, and they don't really feel the point of addressing certain things with you, because they don't think that you care in that kind of way. And so it's like people keep you around because they're like, you funny. And sometimes that, like, if they need to text someone at any time of day, maybe that you will answer. Some people you definitely leave on read, but at the same time, it's almost like when people tell you things, everyone ends up finding out about it. You might not hold people's confidences, or you might end up being like, oh yeah, I feel so bad, oh that's fucked up, and then you're in the car telling everyone what this person just texted you. This is how people perceive you. It says stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking. So people are tired of hearing about your love life that ain't working. They're tired of hearing about when you are like spending your time on someone and stalking them. Like, they don't really believe in the love story that you're trying to spin if you're not in a relationship with someone. They're like, get some and give some, it will cheer you up. They're like, if you actually were in a relationship, like, we would like to hear about that. But if you're just over here, pretending that you're in a relationship, like, they don't believe in your exchanges. Or like, if you're like, oh, I have a twin flame and this and that, people aren't really believing that. Again, their opinion. Step away from the crazy making diet and stuff. Eat some food. They're like, you just need to be a bit more real. They might feel like you're fun if they're like going out to eat, or when you actually got laid, or when you have a few drinks into you, but too much and you start fighting. You might be someone who kind of fights your friends and stuff when you get into a relationship, or you see everyone as competition, unless they completely bow over and just act like they really have to minimalize themselves. Then people might feel like they can't be their full self around you, and you might not see it that way. You might be like, nah, I include people, I let people, you know, be themselves. But to them, they don't feel like that. They feel like if they get too much shine or attention, like you'll get jealous, or if they have a really good love life going on, they can't really tell you because you might get jealous. So people aren't really sure how much they can share with you. Some good shit is about to happen. Don't let your issues fuck it up. Yeah, and a lot of people just feel like you could be having a good life. Like you just make decisions that make you upset, or you just choose to, like, you know, be more fighting, squabbling, more petty, I guess, than is necessary sometimes. And they're like, okay, how about just don't let your issues screw it up? Like, let's just be happy. You know, and you don't see it that way, because again, the quote over here from Exhibit, I can drink a whole Hennessy fist. Some call that a problem. I call it a gift. So you're like, no, I'm just fun. I'm just doing my life. And others are like, okay, like we like some of these qualities, but some of this stuff is pretty detrimental. And yeah, you're definitely being discussed in all places social media or voices can be heard. And a lot of times, like sometimes it's not bad, it's just people trying to like recuperate from their interactions with you and be like, what the fuck, like, can you believe this? But I definitely would say, like, everyone's not 100 in your circle, and they don't feel like you're 100. Like, they don't get rid of you, but they don't necessarily trust you or feel like you're above board about everything. And so you might attract that from others. So if you're like, man, no one's ever, you know, truthful, I can't be myself around my friends, well, they kind of feel that same way. So this is the tea. Take it in stride. This is how people feel about you, what they say. You know, when they're talking the tea and spreading the gossip down the grapevine, doesn't mean it's actually accurate. So you'll have to take that into consideration, that it is their opinion. Okay, please share with a friend, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Shoot, maybe you can let them know what tea's on them. Okay. And I'll say, is that funny? And I'll talk to you again on another one. Number 5, I think the last one, okay, the evil eye one. Let's see, I've had to record this now twice because the phone died and it didn't save like it normally does. We have King of Brooms, which is King of Wands reversed, and we got the, like, basically the Queen of Wands reversed with the Amazon of Fire reversed. People feel like you are dramatic as fuck, like over dramatic, melodramatic. What the hell? How much attention do you need? We have the Magical Child reversed. Your shadow aspects, it says pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. And ironically, you have that with cards of divinity, but we'll get into that. We have here the Slave card, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So people feel like, basically, this pile, y'all can get mad if you want to. I'm just passing along what people say and what they think. You have Oshala, kind of a justice card energy, the World card. We have you're here for a reason, don't fuck it up because you are loved. We have hardcore lyrics from Redman, and then we have 2 of the cards from my prototype deck. These don't have the art on them, just the little keywords. Where were you sleeping? It's a Nirvana oracle. Jesus don't want me for a sunbeam. Okay, let's get that in the frame. Sorry about that. I've moved it as I've had to come back to re-record. Okay. This one, people just straight up think you don't, like, you're apathetic. This is apathy, unaffected, self-assured. People think that you only care about your own ass. Like, I'm just gonna be straight. People talk hard about it. Like, they feel like you don't care about, I'm seeing real issues. Like right now, Mauna Kea in Hawaii, like indigenous Hawaiians need help. There's the issue with like Black Lives Matter and stuff. And I was just hearing, I was just on this page, and it was like the Cracked Amethyst Oracle, might as well put them out there, and they just were joking about like, oh, I should get some slave labor to help me complete these orders. And then someone else was joking back like, oh, that was so funny when you said slave labor, da da da. And I'm like, are we really in 2019 and people who are supposedly woke think it's funny to joke about slave labor, like while people just got shot and we're out here protesting and there's still all of this like white supremacy is taking over the US? Are you kidding me? And you guys, that's what people feel like with you. They feel like you might be very indifferent, you might be very apathetic, you might do a lot of spiritual bypassing or gaslighting, and that's how others feel. So these readings are what other people are talking shit about. However, when it comes to issues of bigotry, misogyny, racism, homophobia, the person who's oppressed is right, okay? We don't get to tell people, you know, if a man's abusing a woman, he can't just be like, well, I don't think I'm misogynistic. No, he doesn't get to say that. So for y'all, I would really check it hard. Some of you who aren't in the channel, who are just coming through to this video, might be like, what the fuck? What kind of reading is this? It's Divine Rebels. On our channel, we talk about the real shit. I'm not going to blow air up your ass. So in some ways, there's something that needs to be checked when it comes to how you don't interact, you don't step up for others. You are here for a reason. We woke up to that every day in Standing Rock. They would say, Kitapo, you're here for a reason. You remember, get up. You know, don't fuck it up. So even, I feel like your spirit guides are even coming in like right now, like, you need to get on it right now. When people are talking shit, is for a reason, okay? Over here we have like this energy. Some of you, it could be, you know, I'm seeing people who like appropriate magics and hoodoo and Orisha and all of this, but then still think that you're entitled to do what you want on that hoodoo delish stuff. I see people who are, let's just do it, okay? People who maybe you're out here saying you're living this gypsy life, or you're in your boxer braids, but you're really, you know, no, those are cornrows, and gypsy is a slur. They're called the Roma. So it's like things like that. There's a lot of microaggressions that people experience with you that they talk about. There's a lot of appropriation or gentrification they feel like they get from you, and they just feel like you don't give a fuck how you treat people. And you might be the person, like, they feel like you're like, oh, stop being so sensitive, oh, we have to be so PC now, and all this kind of stuff. And yet at the same time, you'll be over here talking about God, oh, the 5D, higher power. But when it comes to it, it says pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, not actually believing what you put out, and thinking that action is not required for growth and energy is not required for growth. And so people are like, no, you're not really out here doing it. It could be that vibe where it says, Jesus don't want me for a sunbeam, where like I've had people when I've confronted like white women who were being very racist in certain ways that were spiritual, and they started like crying and going on and on about how, well, we don't relate to white spirituality, so we should be able to do this, we should be able to do what we want. And so you might do things like that to people. They try to come and tell you about their culture, about why they do what they want, and you don't want to hear them. There could be people who wear head coverings and stuff for their religion, and you're telling them, no, to be free, like, I don't consider that freedom or whatever. Like, there's just always ways that people feel like you microaggress and step on their toes. It could even be like, maybe you are a person of color, but you're anti-black, or maybe you are, you know, say that you're pro women, but you're anti-trans women. Like, there's things that are not perfected yet that you're hurting other people. That's what they're talking about. And I feel like this is very real. This isn't gossip. This is very serious. It says the beds you make, evading responsibility and oaths. So the reason people feel it hard too is because you're here for a reason. You're meant to be here in a time such as this to be changing these things, not to be sliding around, contributing more bad karma. I do have a pick a card right here that I haven't recorded yet, which is how to leverage your privilege and like basically just, you know, get all these kinks out and start being out here doing the work we say we're about. Honey, be careful. And so I think that y'all should do it. Like, this one's just, it's such hype energy. People feel like you're just mad, disrespectful, you don't care, that you're indifferent. Basically what you're doing right now is what you would do during the Holocaust. We have migrant children in cages. Like, look, there's the children, there's Hawaii needing help, there's Black Lives Matter, there's the appropriation of all these things going on. This says, long as I live large, life will be a luxury. Ladies and Lamborghinis, love is like luck to me. So people feel like you're just very capitalistic, maybe, that you just care about your money, your wealth, and all of that. And even some of you are gonna be like, nah, I've marched for this, I've done this and this, I'm very feminist. Okay, not all feminism is for all of us. Like I said, you can be pretend that you're accepting of people of color but still be against certain aspects. You can pretend to be feminist and still be against certain aspects. So they're saying that there's still ways. Thank you, honey. She's like under there trying to hand me something. There's still ways that there's microaggressions and stuff going on. Okay, so That's the tea. Like, that's the real tea. And people feel like, okay, you're out here saying the divine this and that. The divine is going to come get your ass. Like, my ancestors going to come get your ass. And it's not like, again, for you to go into victim place and be like, oh my gosh, people are going to be mean to me, la, 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 la. No, it's like, either you step up to the plate or you're on the side of the oppressor. And to many people that you've interacted with, you have been oppressive to them. It doesn't matter if you're also, maybe you're like, well, I was also a refugee, I was also homeless, I'm also a woman, whatever. It's like, okay, like 40% of women took part in slavery, okay, and oppressed other women and stole the kid with killing kids. Like, you know, there's tons of people who will stop you in the yoga class and tell you how you should be feeding your kids organic this and that, but don't give a damn that there's migrant kids in cages right now. So there's all of that. Thank you, baby. There's all of that kind of vibe. She just came in pieces and handed me this, a cardinal, which is the symbol of the ancestors. So ancestors are watching. People's ancestors are talking about you too. I would get on it in any way that you can tear down any hatred, bigotry, whatever. This is like, people don't think you're actively trying to really do anything. So if you've built up a big platform, you see yourself as a guru, you think you're doing all this magic, the ancestors aren't buying. Like, that's mostly who's talking shit. I mean, to be honest, it's people's ancestors, and they're telling people, don't be going over there, my baby. Baby's Kosa. She said that. She's, whoa, I know, whoa. So this is the first time I've had ancestors come through on the tea readings, okay? I mean, it's not the first time I've heard tea from ancestors, but it's the first time they've come through like this. So it's time to care about things on the other side of the world. I'm tired of seeing all these, like on Instagram, all these people from Sweden and stuff bragging about how their jails are okay and, you know, trying to slander all of us Americans for what, you know, white supremacists are doing or whatever. Like, there's just so many things like that where people are pretending that they're good people and they're not doing shit. So that is what's going on. You're here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. You are loved. People wish that they could love you. They wish that they didn't have to be, you know, offended. It's not offended. It's the fact that people feel like their very humanity and their very rights come into question when they interact with you. That's very intense, but I'm gonna give it to you like that. And I'm going to tell it true. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please receive this medicine and help make the world a better place. I appreciate y'all if you actually sat there and took that message, but you know, I appreciate real works, okay? Well done, better than well said. All right? And then he says, I read Nicho's well and Nico well read, okay? We did read that. We did get read. That was the tea. So, yeah. Please show some appreciation. Drop a tip in the donation, okay? Thank you for those of you who have sent a Ko-fi or sent in a little donation, because it is a lot of work. I bring it honest and true here, all right? And as you can see, Mercury retrograde is trying it, but I'm still getting this out for y'all. So I appreciate you so much, and I'll talk to you again on another one. Bye.